Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's John over at UFOs Worldwide. I got a little bit of a Skywatch video playing in the background there. I've given you some circles to show you parts where there's something that's going to show up on the screen. This is just me filming the other night. I often film the sky every single night that it's possible, and I look for anomalies, and I'm often out there trying to manifest, and sometimes I'm even playing different tones and things through the radio, as well as through radio waves being broadcast through some walkie-talkies. Just some new testimonials from the government agents out there recently over the last couple weeks talking about admitting to aliens and crashed vehicles, or vehicles being obtained, back engineered, as well as dead bodies. Nothing much on abductions though. And you know, we have a lot of people out there that have been talking about experiencing aliens, UFOs, and alien contact. And I find this kind of stuff very fascinating. I know a lot of people do. I know there are a lot of people out there as well that really haven't even, they don't really care, and that's okay. That kind of stuff can happen in this world. There's so many distractions and so many things that we can get caught up into. I call them pitfalls, because you just find yourself endlessly going down the rabbit hole investigating these things, trying to find as much information as you can, as you should. Obviously, we should trust no one. We should try and research everything that we possibly can to try and discern between who's telling us the truth and who's telling us a bunch of lies. Just some catch-ups here with us. We've continued to film some strange and weird things and showing you them. A bunch of stationary blinking objects, UFO ejections, some orbs as well over at the Time Warp location. I recently, over the last year, purchased a Sionyx Aurora Pro camera. That's what you're seeing here for this Skywatch. And you know, just another heads up, I was just recently diagnosed over the last year with rheumatoid, which is an autoimmune disease, and it basically causes everything to hurt, causes everything to calcify around your joints if you don't get the proper medication. At one point, I could barely walk or hold an actual coffee cup. It was crazy. When I went to go get married, I got married this year, y'all. I'm so happy and excited for that. I'm so blessed to have met my wife, Julie. I love her to death. I could barely actually do any dancing. I really am ashamed that I could barely even walk down the aisle. I had to wear shoes that were 2 sizes too large so that I didn't have as much foot pain while I was walking down the aisle. It was so sad. But after being diagnosed in November, I got on some medication, and so far I've been doing a lot better than not being able to walk or grip a coffee cup. But I feel so bad for anyone that's ever had any kind of diagnosis of some kind of rheumatoid arthritis or any kind of autoimmune disease that isn't really readily prevalent. I've never actually experienced being physically handicapped, where I'm not physically showing I have the handicap, but I am unable to do a lot of different things, such as even heavy lifting. And I had to do a bunch of heavy lifting like 4 months after being diagnosed with this, because we had a crazy person that was living with us try and basically murder us. It was the craziest thing. Not only did I get married and have some death threats, I also got a new job. I also dropped a new book. I wrote a book with some friends who approve the book itself. It's basically a culmination of over 60 years worth of research and dedication and hard work and field work between 3 guys, Jason, Srirachi, myself, and Mobius. And I called this book the UFO Identification Handbook, Preventing Misidentifications, because there's so many misidentifications out there. We got people saying that birds on night vision are actually UFOs, and they certainly aren't. But you can't tell unless you have a trained eye, or you've spent years of your time analyzing UFO captures and videos and stuff. So, you know, between the 3 of us, we have so much experience and knowledge on it. I just thought it was really important to bring that kind of knowledge to the community, because it's like an instant upgrade. Even if you think you know a lot about UFOs, I promise you, if you read this book, you're going to get an instant upgrade. You're going to be ahead of the curve on all the UFO sightings being reported out there. You'll be able to pick them apart and say, no, that's a fire lantern, no, that's a balloon, no, that's a bird, because of these things. So if you have some interest in being a smarty pants on the subject, then totally pick up that book. My buddy Jason, he's made some headway investigating the time warp location. Unfortunately, though, we had an incident with his night vision equipment. This is crazy. You know, I don't know about you guys out there, but if some of you are Skywatch investigating, have you ever had people around you go crazy and start kind of attacking you? This is something that's happened to Jason and his neighbors in all the neighborhoods that he's ever really lived in. Just crazy neighbors. And this one crazy neighbor recently took a laser pointer and pointed it at his night vision and totally tarnished his tube, totally messed it up. That's like a $5,000 charge right there, if not even more, because these actual night vision headsets that we're using out there in Las Vegas, and you can actually go out there on the Las Vegas tour and use these headsets as well as the binoculars and the Sionyx Pro if you want. These devices are not cheap by any means, and when you wreck a tube, a night vision tube, that can be anywhere from a $5,000 mistake all the way upwards to 30 plus, depending on the tube. And these tubes that we're using are hand selected, they're A-select models. They're designed and scrutinized to be the best tubes that you could possibly use for looking at the stars in the night sky. And not every night vision is actually going to be that great for picking up all the distant galaxies and stars that are out there. But the ones that we're using, they're top notch, they're top of the line, they're the type of night vision that you're going to see on different television shows and stuff like that. And we've actually seen Skinwalker Ranch recently capturing similar evidence that we have over the last 3 years in their field work, which is pretty exciting to see. We have a bunch of Sionyx night vision videos showing birds and bats that we've been collecting as well to use for cross-referencing and discernment against other people's captures of similar nature, as a lot of people out there are starting to invest money in to the night vision equipment to capture these things that is invisible to the naked eye often. You know, with so much light pollution out there, when you go and look at the night sky while you're sky watching, you are very limited to the amount of stars that you're able to see. And so when you use digital night vision like the Sionyx system, or even any kind of paratemporal night vision, you're going to see hundreds, if not thousands, of more stars than you would with the naked eye. And that's even in a very dark place as well. And you know, some of us, most of us in life, have to drive 5-6 hours just to be able to get to a place where we can actually see full stars and sky coverage. If you do that, oh, it's so beautiful when you do that, for sure. I know it's something that I really enjoy as well. And on this video here, again, you're seeing a lot of planes and satellites and examples of such. And it's important to film the sky and catalog and get this kind of data so that you aren't fooled and you're able to hone in on the real UFO stuff when you see it. You know, I don't know about you guys, but through my life and through my experiences, I've come to realize that there seems to be some kind of negative energy surrounding our planet and the minds and everybody in it. This negative energy, it's just creating so much chaos, y'all, and I just never seen so many people so angry and so ready to fly off the top than I am these days. I feel like it's more important that we come together as a civilization of humans of planet Earth than even worrying about what's going on with this alien stuff, because ultimately I wouldn't want to become an intergalactic citizen as a warring, gnarly crazy, corrupt kind of society or civilization. That just isn't cool to me, and I know it's not cool to a lot of people. So if you see someone in trouble, if you see someone hurting, make sure you show them some love, make sure you show them some kindness if you can. Through a lot of different books and a lot of different media and a lot of different mediumship, like different kinds of people, I've learned about the conscious connection between our ability to communicate with our six senses. And through my lifetime, I've had a ton of different kinds of ghostly, paranormal, and alien type contact, where I'm just getting information where I don't even understand how I've come to know this information. And especially with religions and certain philosophies of old ancient philosophies, where I had a certain mindset and a certain ideal and thought process and perspective on religion and certain teachings and philosophies. And for some reason, going through and watching documentaries later in life, I'm hearing certain thought processes and ways that I'm looking at life and viewing life being told to me from other people. It's insane. I think it's so important that people learn to meditate and to recognize their body, recognize their energies, recognize consciousness, because it's all around us. And I think entities, both of higher and lower levels, are also all around us. So when you learn to protect yourself energy-wise with love and operate on a higher frequency, yeah, you're going to see a lot of disturbances and craziness like I do as well, but you'll be honed in on it and you'll be doing the right thing the right way. I really appreciate y'all for watching my videos, subscribing to my channels. I've amassed over 4 years over 30,000 people watching on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm just blown away that my videos have reached over 1 million people. I just want to say thank you so much for spending any moments listening to me talk, watching any videos that I've created, anything I've tried to show in a better way. I really appreciate y'all. And I hope we keep our eyes to the skies and we keep our fingers glued to the triggers of the record button on our phones, on our night vision cameras, and on our night vision vehicle stuff. I'm hoping we catch more stuff and that we bring the disclosure out there as humans, for us, for the people, by the people. Anyway, thanks. Peace.